Hey, what's up, guys? And as you can tell, today I'm not going to be talking about anime or manga, but I'm actually talking about Webtoon. So, to sum up what Webtoon is, it's basically just a free app where you can read a ton of webcomics that are all of extremely high quality, and it's all for free. Yeah, for free, which is a huge deal. So, basically, I'm just going to start off with saying why I think everyone who's watching this and anyone who exists on this earth should read Webtoon. And basically, just to sum it up, I don't want to drag on for too long, but yeah, number one, it's free, so yeah, there's no excuse not to read it. And number two, there's a ton of content on here. I mean, this is barely any of the content, and some of these series go on for extremely long times. And yes, I mean, there's just a ton of stories on here that, you know, that are all awesome. Number three would be just, it has a really unique way of reading. Like, okay, for instance, I'm just gonna pick this one because I really like the art, just to show you what I mean. But basically, when you read this, the webtoons, there's only when you're reading it, number one, you're reading vertically. You're not reading sideways like on a lot of, like, you know, when you're reading manga or a novel, most of the time you're going to be reading sideways. But when you're reading Webtoon, you're reading vertically, which adds a whole other aspect to it, at least for me, because let's say you're reading like a horror or a thriller, you only see like one frame at a time. So for per se, if I'm reading like Junji Ito, or I don't know, some horror manga I'd read, I don't know. If I'm reading a horror manga, I'll see, like, I'll subconsciously look, you know, underneath, like down the page, and I'll see another frame that, you know, has a jump scare or a, you know, a surprise or something that happens that's revealed, and, you know, I'll be like, oh shit, like now I know, and I don't just read it naturally. But in Webtoon, it's like, I don't know, like it kind of forces me just to read it how it's meant to be read, I guess, or, you know, not subconsciously look down and see what happens. And it also just adds a lot of suspense to, you know, a series. Like, you know, like, it just, when you read it, you can tell. You'll know when you read it. But yeah, if you get what I mean, it just adds a lot to the stories for me that I read on here. And yeah, and as you can tell, the art on this series is beautiful. I mean, do you see this art? It looks really good. But yeah, so that's one other thing. And then one last thing I'm just going to show you is that you can support authors through here through Patreon. So if I go to a series, you can support the authors on here straight through Patreon, which I think is a huge deal. So if a series isn't supported by Webtoon and featured, because Webtoon can't feature every single title on here because they don't have, you know, unlimited amounts of money, because they have to pay the authors they feature. So you could support most authors you read on Patreon through the website, which is, or, you know, through the app, which is really awesome to me. You could just support them right away like that. And yeah, and they'll reward you for, you know, obviously for being patrons. They'll give you like fan art, you know, art that other people can't see. They'll give you the episodes early and stuff like that. So yeah, so I'm just gonna give you some recommendations. I think I'm just gonna start with this one, just as I just recently started reading it. Okay, so Days of Hana. This one is about a werewolf boy, as you can see right here. A werewolf boy. And basically, in this world that they live in, werewolves have kind of become part human, and werewolves have started to live with humans, and they are now segregating into schools. And basically, this werewolf boy lives with her and her father, and her and her father are master, like his master. So basically, it's just about like their romance, kind of, and how like they develop as characters throughout this, like, you know, new world that's happening, and all of this like discrimination against werewolves that's happening. And yeah, it's just really awesome. The author's really good at getting you to hate characters, and also really good at getting you to love characters. The writing in this series is phenomenal. The art of the werewolf I was showing you earlier is from this story. So the art is exceptional, the story is exceptional, the writing's exceptional. characters, everything about the story is really good. I'm not even caught up yet. So yeah, go read it. And it's featured, so it updates every Wednesday. So yeah, go check that out. Also, this is like, okay. So, Let's Play is like the king of Webtoon right now. Anyone who has the app Webtoon and has opened it probably knows what Let's Play is. But, I mean, it's for a reason, because Let's Play is actually pretty good, if I had to be honest. It's just a fun story to read every week. I wouldn't say it's like my favorite, but I would say that I do enjoy the fuck out of reading it, and I highly recommend it to anyone who, you know, wants to check it out. So if I had to sum it up, the story, it's about this girl named Sam, and she wants to be a game developer. So she already makes games, and she made her first game and uploaded it onto an indie game developer website. And basically Marshall right here is a YouTuber, and he plays the game, he reviews it, and basically he trashes the game. I mean, he doesn't trash it, but like he says it's not very good in the video. And that's because Sam and her friends say that he played it wrong, which he did or whatever, because it's a puzzle game. And basically his fan base on YouTube goes and thrashes her game. Like, they actually thrash it, and it gets such bad, ends up with such a bad rating on the website that it gets taken down. So basically it's about like them two. They're like the main protagonists. And even though right now he's not a big part of the story as of now, yet, he hasn't really become too big of a part of the story, because it's about these two characters right now. But basically these three guys, there's like tension with her. So it's almost like a reverse harem, but it really isn't, but it just feels like it. But yeah, it's really fun, and she has a lot of other like girlfriends and stuff like that are in the story that are really awesome. So yeah, I mean, basically, the same thing for the other story. It just has exceptional characters and writing, and you know, just good story overall. Although I do prefer Days of Hana, I highly recommend this one as well. Definitely go check it out. What else? Super Secret. Okay, so Super Secret is basically, this guy's a werewolf. Again, yes, another fucking werewolf, I know. And they've both been childhood friends, and there's a lot. Honestly, I'm not gonna say much. It's really fucking good. Just trust me. The story's really, really, really fucking good, and it's better than both the other stories I've said. But those are also fucking amazing. Okay, Webtoon has it fucking down packed. Okay, the stories that I say are better than others does not downgrade the other stories. They're all fucking incredible. Okay, but this story is. It's just about these two. I don't want to say much because it honestly gets very complicated. And there's a lot of stuff that happens. But basically it's about like a romance between these two, and there's a lot of shit that happens before that, but I'm not gonna say much. But basically the boy next door, friends for life, is actually a werewolf. That's literally it. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, he's a werewolf, she's a normal girl, they've been childhood friends, and yeah, that's it. It's really good. Go read it. Okay, what else? And I mean, also just to say, I'm scrolling through a ton of awesome stories right now. There are some that I'm just not gonna talk about because I don't want to like say every single one, or else the video will be forever, like be super long. But yeah, okay, so Age Matters is fucking awesome as well. It's so consistent with its story. Basically, it's about this girl, Rose Choi, and she lost her job. And her friend works for him, who is the CEO of Lime, which is a ginormous corporation that is a messaging app. And he's a super successful, super young billionaire. And her friend worked as, like, almost like his servant. So she would, like, do orders for him and, like, give him food when he's at work, like, at home. And stuff like that. So basically her friend that she's living with goes on a vacation with her boyfriend for a few months, and she has to take over her job and be his servant. Basically it goes from there, and it develops into like a romance between the two of them, kind of. Not yet though. Not yet, but it's coming. It'll come sometime. And there's a lot of awesome side characters. This is probably like one of the most consistent stories I've read. Like, throughout these 36 episodes, it has not had a single drop. It's like, not a single drop off. It's been so fucking perfect throughout. And if it stays like this, it might just end up being my favorite webtoon. But it's not right now. I'll get to my favorite webtoon in a little bit. So this will probably be like the one not romance recommendation I'll have. Bastard. So this is like a thriller horror series, and I'm not gonna say jack shit about it. I mean, the synopsis literally says nothing, just like for Super Secret. There's a serial killer in my house. I mean, you have to fucking read this. Okay. It has a 9.88 for a reason. It's insane. I mean, it's honestly such a suspenseful story. So yeah, go read it. That's it. That's it. Okay. And this is my favorite webtoon of all time. Orange Marmalade. It's actually the same author that made the first story I recommended, Days of Hana. So Orange Marmalade, it's kind of, the concept is a little similar, although it's very different from Days of Hana. It's about this girl, and she's a vampire, and vampires do not drink human blood anymore. They drink pig's blood. And basically, you know, vampires and humans live together, although most vampires keep it a secret that they're vampires. So it's about a romance between, like, him and her trying to hide the fact that she's a vampire to him. And, you know, at first she's very antisocial and trying to stay away from everyone because she doesn't want to find out she's a vampire. And it's just a really cool story, and it has a lot of awesome psychological elements with him and her, and, like, really getting into their minds and how they really feel, and, like, the shit that's going through their head throughout the story. And, you know, it gets really crazy, and the ending is insane and amazing, and you have to read it because it's already finished, so you could just binge read all of it and get it done. That's how I read it, and I love the fuck out of it. It's amazing. It's so good. Okay, what else? I'm just gonna recommend a few more. I don't want to go on for too much longer. Okay, right here. Okay, I'm not gonna say anything about this one, but this is if you watch Lost Pause on YouTube, this is actually his webtoon, which is really fucking cool that a YouTuber has their own webtoon. Okay, I'll do this one. All right, so this one's called Crumbs, and we don't know a lot about the story yet because it hasn't been going on for long at all. So I honestly don't know a lot about the story, although I am caught up on it. But the art in this story is just incredible. I mean, the art in this story is incredible. It is spectacular. Look at it. The art is so good. I mean, in some of the later chapters, the art just blows my mind. I mean, it's just so unique, and I love reading it because of the art. And I mean, the characters are cool, although we don't know too much about them yet. But definitely recommend Crumbs. It's very underrated. It honestly doesn't have much hype around it at all, although it should. So yeah, and I guess there's one more. There's one that I really need to recommend. Okay, Mio. So this is a boys' love. I know it's boys' love. Okay, accept it. Trust me, it's really good. Okay. So it's just a really short 8-episode romance. There's no excuse not to read this. It's only 8 episodes. It'll take you like 20 minutes. You could read this in 15 minutes if you really just scrolled through it. Although you shouldn't do that because the art's fucking awesome. And really nice and pastel colored. So yeah. And it's super wholesome, and it's about Chan-Yuk and Jude. And it's really awesome. I fucking love it. Just go read that. So underrated. It has no likes. I mean, barely anyone has read it. People need to read it. Okay, That Awkward Magic is much more popular, and it's also a BL, which is boys' love. And it's just about this guy who has a really persistent girlfriend, and he tries to break up with her, and then she ends up just like stalking him. And yeah, so he bumps into this kid, and he's like, oh, be my fake boyfriend, and they end up like ending up being fake boyfriends, because she will not keep trying to get back with him because she's like a huge LGBTQ supporter and stuff like that. So it just goes off from there, and he has magic and stuff like that. He has magic that he finds out later in the story and stuff like that. It's really awesome. Highly recommend. Also, the Yamanville game. I mean, not. Oh my god. Fragmented. I was thinking of this story, even though this story. I was thinking of that one. Okay, Fragmented. This one is really, really awesome. It's about this girl who has a mask, and we don't know too much about the characters yet, to be honest. But I'm really, really enjoying this one. and basically she has a lot of social problems and a really fucked up backstory that I'm not going to get into because of spoilers. And then there's this guy, and they meet, and shit goes down, and they both are really interesting characters. And basically, it's just, a really good story, and I love the main character. Go read it. Yeah, I mean, Doyamango Gang is really awesome, obviously. Her Life Behind the Mirror, I'm not going to go too far in depth, but you should go read this. It's a really awesome mystery, kind of, but also a little bit of romance and drama. Her Life Behind the Mirror. And, yeah, I guess, I think that's it, guys. I don't want to keep you guys here too long. Really, any of these stories that I'm scrolling right now are really, really good. If you wanted some non-romance, since I only said Bastard, Tower of God, super popular. God of High School, I don't know, yeah, here, The God of High School, super popular, although I'm a huge fanatic for romance, so I mean, I kind of just only recommended romance, except for Bastard. So yeah, guys, I mean, that's Webtoon. It's free. You should go read them. They're really fun. You can read them on your phone. You can read them anywhere you go. Tons of awesome stories. Here's one. I mean, that one's also good. It literally just started. It's a new series, and I'm caught up on it, so I'm reading it weekly for free on my phone. So, yeah, just go check out some of those recommendations. If you want some more content on anime, or manga, or webtoons, or video games, or anything I desire, please like and subscribe. Or leave a comment if you have any other webtoon recommendations for other people who maybe aren't such romance fanatics like myself. So yeah, guys, like and subscribe if you want some more. Peace out, guys.